Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey. If you're new here, today we are going to be doing a mobility workout. The first exercise we're going to be doing is a standing hip hurdle. So standing with your feet about hip width distance, you're going to begin with the right leg, and as if you are stepping over something super tall, you're going to step up, over, and then back, up, over, and then forward. And then just repeat this motion for 10 on each side. The whole time you are doing this exercise, try to maintain stability in the upper body with holding your core tight. The motion will cause like your hips to move back because that's just the direction that your legs are going. But if you keep your core tight, you'll be able to ensure that the movement is targeting the hip mobility more than like your low back. The next exercise requires a unstable surface, so a yoga block or maybe a folded up towel, whatever you might have, and something to pass between each hand like a weight. So you're going to balance on one foot on the block and then pass the weight or whatever you might have, maybe a can, between each hand. And we're going to be doing 10 passes on each side. So I count one hand, one, second hand, one, two, two, and on from there. So I guess it's like 20 passes technically, but we're doing that same movement on the other side. And you'll find that this really challenges the ankle mobility as well as your knee mobility during the entire movement. Make sure that your core is tight. And if you fall out, notice that I bring my toe down just a little bit to bring a tiny bit of stability, but it's okay if you fall out of the movement completely. Just get right back into it. Our next exercise is a dynamic hamstring stretch. Start with your feet about hip width distance apart and then bring one foot forward and point your toes, and then you're going to fold forward and then rise back up. Switch each side. We're going to be doing 10 on each leg. This is a great mobility movement, not only for your hamstrings, but also a nice calf stretch. If you need to keep a slight bend in your standing leg, that is also okay. It means that your hamstrings are a little bit tighter, and in order to get the most out of the stretch, that bend in that knee is perfect. The next exercise we're doing is hip swings. So begin in an area where you can kind of hold on to something, and we're going to do hip swings from side to side. This one we want to do as slow as possible to maximize the stretch. So beginning with swinging your leg out to the side and then crossing over the body just a little bit, and we're doing 10 on each side here. And then following that, we're going to do front to back hip swings. Same situation, just hold on to something to keep your body stable. This one, you can swing your legs a little bit faster if you'd like, depending on your hip mobility. And then switch sides, 10 on each leg. The next exercise is a 90-90 hip switch. So begin with one leg in front of you with a 90-degree bend in the knee, and then the other one's going to be off to the side, another 90-degree bend in the knee, and then you're just going to hold that for a few seconds and then switch sides and just hold that also for a few seconds. And we're just going to be doing 10 on each side with a pause in between. Make sure that your hips are square with your shoulders. And if you need to adjust, just adjust. One hip, the one with the leg out, might lift up off the floor just a little bit. That just means that your hips aren't square. So you just need to adjust. The next exercise is going to be a seated hip hurdle. So grab a yoga block, a weight, or anything that you can comfortably bring your leg up and over it. And that's just it. One leg is going to go up and over. And we're doing 10 on each side during the entire movement. Try to keep your spine in a neutral position and keep your core tight to protect your low back. The next exercise is a cat-cow. So beginning on all fours, keep your hips stacked over your knees and your shoulders stacked over wrists. And then you're just going to push the ground away, moving into a rounded spine, kind of like how a cat would stretch. And then moving into the opposite movement with kind of an arched back with your head looking up so that you can get a nice stretch in your chest, and then just alternating that movement as one rep. And we're doing 10 of these. I like to hold the position in whatever feels good. The next exercise is going to be a low lunge rock. So begin with both knees together and bring one knee out with a 90-degree bend to your knee, and then begin with moving forward and then sink your hips back into a half split, hold, and again forward. And we are doing 10 on each side. One rep being forward and then back. Next exercise is a lateral lunge rock, starting in a standing position with your hips wide. You're going to lateral lunge to one side. Make sure you're straight leg, you point your toes, and just alternate each side. The goal here is to maintain the foot position flat on each of the sides. You can tell on my right there I struggle a little bit with keeping my foot flat. So this is an exercise I definitely work on for ankle mobility. We're doing 10 on each side with a pause. All right, this is the last exercise of our mobility workout. Feel free to complete this as a circuit. Just take a rest after completing this exercise and then start the video over to complete it in full with no rest in between each exercise. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment and like if you have any feedback. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more workout videos, lifestyle, fitness content. And since I'm so new, that would help me out so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.